Price ceiling is a legal limit imposed by the government on how high the price of a product can be. Generally, price ceilings are intended to benefit consumers while ensuring that merchants do not overprice their items to maximize profit.
What are the effects on the market structure when price ceilings are implemented? Firstly, price ceilings must be set below the natural market equilibrium in order for them to be effective. However, implementing price ceilings will create a shortage and thus causing the quantity demanded to exceed the quantity supplied in the process.
Examples of implementation of price ceilings.
In China, it has been made public that schools are now allowed to charge students at a higher price as the Chinese government had increased the price ceilings for school uniforms up to 300 yen, which is $48.96 per uniform. The price of the school uniforms increases as they progress through different educational stages. Under the previous regulations, senior high schools could charge up to 250 yen and primary and junior high schools could charge as much as 150 yen per uniform. It has later been found that the legalization of the low prices of uniforms had caused the manufacturers to cut corners during the production of goods, thus lowering the overall quality of the goods by selling uniforms made from materials dyed with banned substances. This has enraged the Chinese public as the government condones unlawful trade practices by appealing to the corporations.
The implementation of price ceilings are also commonly seen during festive seasons. The Malaysian government will often implement the price ceilings on some items to protect consumers from being manipulated by immoral sellers, especially during Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Chinese New Year, and Deepawali. Here is the original price of items sold during festive seasons, and the price ceilings imposed to protect the consumers in the year 2013. As Malaysia is a multiracial country, many festive seasons are celebrated throughout the year. Thus, the price ceilings are implemented based on the demand from different races.
Rent control is also another example of the implementation of price ceiling, where rent charged by landlords are limited through legal means. In America, the rent control came into the use in the 40s after the Second World War, when returning American soldiers could not afford rents or houses due to meager amount of military pensions. However, many economists agree that rent control is destructive to a nation's economy. Due to the lower rent rates, it results in poor building maintenance as the landlord cut costs in order to maximize profit.
To have less housing. Where there's rent control, landlords don't want to build. In unregulated cities like Dallas and Chicago, lots of apartments are available. But in rent-controlled cities like New York, you may have to bribe someone to get an apartment.
You can pay brokers under the table sometimes, which helps.
But we would never do that.
I would never do that.
Finally, the most destructive unintended consequence of rent controls is that some landlords say, if I can't raise the rent, I won't make repairs. And they don't.
Short of aerial bombardment, the best way to destroy a city is through rent controls.
Does the black market have anything to do with the price ceilings? A black market selling price is higher than a legally imposed price ceiling. The shortage of goods caused by the price ceiling encourages the black market to thrive, as people are more willing to pay exorbitant amount of money to purchase goods and contraband. The implementation of price ceiling also harms the economy indirectly through the emergence of black markets, as the government loses revenue obtained through taxations imposed on purchased goods. In the year 2012, American Automobile Association priced the average gallon of gas nationwide to be less than $3.50 a gallon. But some in Queens and Elmont, New York, are willing to purchase a gallon of gas from 3 times to 11 times from the original price as supply and demand sends prices soaring.
Ways to overcome shortage caused by implementation of price ceilings are favoritism, second, rationing, third, lottery, last but not least, first come first served basis. One way to deal with the problem of shortages is through favoritism, which means sellers get to choose their buyers. Landlords often rent to preferred renters. They are likely to be married couples, probably over 30, and without children or pets. Gasoline station owners sell gasoline to those customers who regularly have their cars repaired at the station.
Another way to deal with shortage is by having government to help the buyers, which is the concept of rationing. For example, government can decide on those with license plates that ended in an odd number could buy gasoline only on odd days of the month. Those with license plate that ended in an even number could be able to buy gasoline only on even days of the month. Everyone could buy on the 31st and February 29 in leap years.
One other way to deal with the problem of shortages is by lottery. The lottery system works where those who pick the right numbers are allowed to buy a highly demanded product. For instance, the chargers used a system such as this to determine who would be able to buy some of the tickets for famous matches or hunting license.
Another way of dealing with shortage is through first come first served basis. Shortages are typically associated with long lines. For example, there are hundreds of people looking for apartments all the time in Helsinki city heaters. This caused a long line of raging men queuing and shouting towards others who could not stand in the line for hours.
Here is a short story explaining price ceiling. In the jungle of Malabar, there lived a group of pandas with King Po as their leader. They were a very happy bunch as they did nothing but eat bamboos all day and took their long naps in the trees. Sadly, the day where all the pandas feared had arrived. The market price of bamboos rocketed high, causing all the panda bears to be really upset. They had to re-eat and try to save as much bamboos as they could as the prices were unaffordable. The pandas were hungry and angry. The insane price of bamboos caused the whole panda kingdom to be inharmonious. The pandas started attacking anyone they saw with food. King Po could not stand seeing his pandas at such state anymore and had imposed the price ceiling of bamboos at $20 per stick instead. All the pandas were happy for a while with the price ceiling imposed. However, things weren't looking any better soon after, as there were a shortage of bamboos and thus causing the black market to thrive. The shortage of bamboos caused a group of wicked pandas to take advantage of the current situation. The wicked panda bears then started selling bamboos at a price that was higher than the price ceiling imposed, as they knew their fellow panda friends were desperate and willing to pay for the bamboos with anything they had. King Po soon found out about the illegal trading that was being carried out and arrested the wicked pandas. He then carried out different kinds of activities to deal with shortage problems such as favoritism, first come first served basis, and also the lottery. With the price ceiling now at $20, the prices of bamboos will no longer be unaffordable for all the pandas, as the prices of bamboos will never be above the price ceiling imposed. In addition, the pandas also learn how to be more rational before over-consuming bamboos to deal with the problem of shortage.